From The Selfish Path to Romance, download Chapter 1 for free at drkenner.com.
Blind? Good heavens, do they expect one blind child to teach another? Here's a house full of grown-ups can't cope with a child. How can an inexperienced half-blind Yankee schoolgirl manage it?
Great improvement. Now we have two of them to look after.
You be quiet.
I was agreeing with you.
You talk too much.
Nothing I say is right.
Why say anything?
Okay, what happens if you're living with a parent who just says, you be quiet, I don't have to listen to you. Why say anything? When you are totally trapped, you don't have a voice in a relationship. Think about relationships that you've had in your past where you've wanted to speak up so badly, or you have spoken up, and there's nobody listening. They just shut you down, or they look at you, they brush you aside. Very painful to be in those situations. Those are some of the questions you can call me about, being in a situation like that you're dealing with.
If you're seeing things running through your head, who can you call?
I'm Dr. Ellen Kenner, and my show is The Rational Basis of Happiness. And even though it's not therapy, it's an opportunity for you to call in with any questions that are on your mind that are keeping you awake nights. What do you do if you're in a polygamous situation? Well, it's not actually a polygamous situation. If you think of polygamy and the Mormons and the men that have multiple wives, there was a special on where they talked about a man who had 17 wives. This is from Centennial Park, Arizona. He interviewed this is somebody from ABC, John Quinones. Interviewed 17 women from Centennial Park, Arizona, who call what they're in a plural marriage. And it says that they say it works for them. They're married to one guy. Very nice. Now, that's a very bizarre situation. Listen to this current situation and see if you can figure out what's going wrong. Dear Dr. Kenner, I am currently in love with a married man. Okay, that's not uncommon. And all three of us believe in polygamy. Does that mean you're going to marry him? I can't figure out why I get so angry and jealous when they, the husband and wife, kiss or take a shower together. So she lives with them, but she's just like an add-on in their house. They can kiss in public, but I can only kiss him or do other things like that if nobody but his wife knows about it. I have to hide my feelings from everyone. Only he and his wife know how I really feel about him. So I've got a lot of questions here. What the heck is going on? Why did you choose this sort of relationship for yourself? Why did you not want an exclusive relationship with a partner? You're in a situation that's very strange. They're saying you can live with us, you can love us, the woman, the husband and the wife. You can share a life with us, honey, but you're a second-rate wife. You're not even a wife, and you've got to keep this quiet. Now, why? Well, obviously, if everybody knows that you're in this tryst, then you will raise some eyebrows. You might lose a job, or they might lose a job. People may not want to associate with you. So in one sense, this is very private, what you do behind your bedroom doors. However, the question is, are you happy? And the answer is a resounding no. You're angry, which is saying things are not fair, and you're feeling jealous, which means she has something I want. Now that's really interesting. You're not wanting her because you can only kiss him. You're not saying I can only kiss her. So it's not that your main attraction is to her. It's that your main attraction is to him. You're both in love with the same man, and she's agreed to share him. Okay? I suspect that you need to listen much more carefully to what you're saying to yourself under your breath. You may be saying, oh, there she goes again. He's looking at her again. He bought her a new dress. He didn't buy me a new dress. And if you're always comparing and contrasting like that, then I don't know if you're recreating some sibling situation you were in, both eager to have dad's attention or mom's attention. I don't know what's going on in your mind because time sharing with a husband doesn't work. Now, you may have the fantasy that he will love you more and will choose you over her and will leave her. If so, that's very dishonest being in this relationship. Are there other gains that you're after? Maybe he's very wealthy and you want the convenience of a man who will support you and give you a roof over your head and pay for your things. And you really want more than that, but he's not willing to do that, but they're both agreeing to this if you have sex with them. I suggest that you take a much closer look at your own judgment in this. What have been your choices in the past? What led you to your judgment now? There's also an association called Tapestry Against Polygamy. I went on the internet. This is for people who get trapped in a polygamous situation and they have danger signs of abuse within a polygamous relationship. And I'll just list a couple of these because you want to be aware of them. You can go to their website. It's www.polygamy.org/danger signs. So this is the danger signs. Control over your private lives. If he's telling both of you, his two women, where you should work, whether you should attend a certain church services, dictating what decisions should be made for your entire family, that's a danger sign. If he's making sexual demands, pressure to perform certain sexual acts through coercion, then that's a big red flag, a warning sign. If there are threats or intimidation to take away his attention if you behave improperly, that's a warning sign. And there are many, many more. If he tries to cut you off from outsiders, if he needs to have just totally isolate you from people, if he needs you to have an emotional dependence on him, he doesn't want you to have any critical thinking, he doesn't want you to think independently, then you've got to leave that relationship immediately. So those are also signs of an abusive relationship. So it's not just in a polygamous relationship. But again, the organization is Tapestry Against Polygamy, and you can look up their warning signs and danger signs of being in such a relationship and how to get out of it. Here's a question that I received from a young woman, a 19-year-old, and guess what's bothering her? Hello, Dr. Kenner. I am 19 years old, and I have been trying to get pregnant for about 1 year, but it is not happening. What can I do? Well, I left it exactly as you wrote it, for about 1 year, because I think it's important that shows that you're not as polished or as educated to make the type of decision it sounds like you're trying to make. A lifelong decision of being a mother for a child at the age of 19, and you've been trying since the age of 18. So the first thing that came to my mind was a popular teenage song. I don't know whether Madonna did it, but somebody glamorizing teenage pregnancy. Well, it isn't the glamour it's made out to be. I've worked with many teenage moms, and they feel like they've lost their entire youth. They're resentful. They see their friends going out and still being able to enjoy life, going to parties, dancing, or going back to college and building a wonderful career, or having time with a husband first. And that's absolutely wonderful to give yourself those teenage years. So the question is, why do you want a baby so badly at such a young age? Is it that the case that your boyfriend or husband is going off to fight and you want to firm up your bond with him? Or is this what you've always wanted? Is this a Barbie and Ken doll dream? Or do you have career plans and you feel like maybe you have no career plans and you feel like a baby would fill in that gap? Or maybe your older sister just had a baby and you're feeling jealous and you want a baby too because your parents are fussing so much over her. Maybe your parents did a lousy job in bringing you up and you feel that you'd be a much better mother, and so you have this urgency to become a mother very soon. Or for some people, they've had an abortion at a very young age, at 13 and 14, and they feel so guilty that they want a baby to make up for it because they feel that their God will, they feel so guilty, and they feel that maybe God will be good to them if they have a baby and make amends to him. You don't ever have to get into that trap. My question to you is, where are you in your schooling? What are your life goals? If you're looking for a baby to give you a purpose in life, think again. You want to make yourself solid first so that you're ready to have a baby. And if you have the opportunity to carry around one of those computerized babies that they do in schools, you need to do that. And you need the version that wets. And if they had one that squirms, I would say get the one that squirms also. And also, you need a lot of self-understanding so that you make choices now that are much better for your own long-range happiness. A baby is not like a major in college because you can change majors. Instead, it's a lifetime commitment, and you want to make very good choices in your life. This is Dr. Ellen Kenner on the Rational Basis of Happiness.
Here's an excerpt from The Selfish Path to Romance, the Serious Romance Guidebook by clinical psychologist Dr. Ellen Kenner and co-author Dr. Edwin Locke.
To discover a potential partner's actual values, don't just listen to what this person says. Also look at their choices, their actions, and their responses over time. Observe what a potential romantic partner responds to emotionally and why. For example, do they show passion, indifference, or contempt for certain events, objects, activities, or individuals? Notice what makes them happy, excited, or angry. Observe how they make difficult choices with careful thinking by weighing the pros and cons or going by emotions only.
You can download Chapter 1 for free by going to drkenner.com, and you can buy The Selfish Path to Romance at amazon.com.